Hi, everyone. CP Hoffman, Policy Director of Free State Justice. My pronouns are they and she. My pronouns are they and she. And we are here today to show you how to sign up to testify and track bills on the Maryland General Assembly website. Jamie Grace, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jamie Grace Alexander. I am the policy coordinator here at Free State. And hello and welcome to our tutorial.
Hi, everyone. So the first thing that you will do is go to the Maryland General Assembly website, which is at mgaleg.maryland.gov. That's mgaleg.maryland.gov. Once you go there, you should see a website that looks like this. And here you can search for bills that have been filed. You can look for information about submitting testimony in the House or in the Senate. And you can find lots of useful information. You can find out who your local representatives are. You can find out information on committees, etc. But what we're going to be talking to you about today is how to create an account, track bills, and submit testimony. So the first thing to do if you want to create your account is click up here in the upper right where it says Mymga. Now, when you click there, it will take you to this page that says sign in to Mymga tracking. If you already have an account, then you can just sign in here. Now, I'm going to pretend that I don't have an account, and instead I'm going to click on create a Mymga tracking account. This takes me to this page where I then fill in my information, and it's pretty standard stuff. And then I click register at the bottom. I think it sends you an email to confirm your registration once you submit it. But once you do that, then you should be able to go back to sign in and log in. Now, I'm just gonna get my information in, and there we go. I'm logged in. Now here I have a bill tracking list that I've put together for the 2022 legislative session. So I'm just gonna run this report really fast so you can see some of the bills that I've set to track for this session. So I can, for instance, come down here and see that one of the bills is crimes, mitigation and defense, religious beliefs, disability, or homelessness. The hearing in the House is scheduled for January 25th at 1 p.m. Now, from my perspective, this is tomorrow. From your perspective, it's probably the past, but you know, that's the fun of time travel. Woo! Now, once you have this set up, your tracking set up, you can easily click on the bill and find the information about it. Before you have it set up, you'll need to look for the bill up here in the search bar where you can type in the bill number or a keyword. So for this bill, for instance, let's say I don't remember anything about it other than it deals with homelessness. So I can type homelessness and, oh, look, it's the first thing that pops up. Now this takes me to the language of the bill, which is not necessarily what I want, but let's see if I go here. I think this takes me to, there we go. That takes me to the main page for the bill. Now, once I'm here, I can click on this little pin up here on the upper left, and I can then add it to my bill tracker. Now, if I hit save, it won't actually do anything because it's already in my 2022 legislative session tracker. So, you know, it won't do anything. But if you don't already have a legislative tracker that it's in, then you can do that. Now, if you're like, oh, I want to know what the bill actually says. You know, there's a little synopsis here, but how do I get that bill language? It's a little unclear, but what you do is you click right here where the bill number is. And when you click on that, it brings up the bill language. Now, the way these bills are written, anything that's in sort of like normal type is already in the code. And then things that are being deleted are put in brackets, and things added are put in all caps and bolded. So this bill, for instance, there's already a list of protected classes that you can't use a panic defense against. They're deleting the word or right here before sexual orientation because that used to be the last thing in the list. and then adding 3 new things. And really the or is kind of moving down here, but it's just stylistically they show it as a deletion. So that's sort of how you read the bills. Now, let's say that you wanted to submit testimony, that you know are.
Before we move on from that,
Oh.
just is that if you go back to the view for the panic defense amendment, this is a really great way to check the progress of a bill. And often like the most up-to-date information is on this page. So once you have the bill number memorized, and especially once you have a tracking list, if you can't keep all those numbers memorized, this is really where the most up-to-date information about the progress of a bill is going to be. So watching those yellow dots fill up all the way across that line is very satisfying when it happens, and just so demoralizing when it is just like you refresh the page and it's still right there. But this is where you're going to get the most up-to-date information on the progress of a bill.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. You can also, if you do know the bill number, you can also search by the bill number. So you can search by, say, HB 209, which is another bill that I am set to testify on tomorrow. And here it brings it up. Now this also, I want to show you a little fun thing here, which is if it's been cross-filed in the other house. So this is the House version of the law of the bill to repeal Maryland's unnatural or perverted sexual practices law. There's a Senate version which says cross-filed with, and it's SB 22. So we can click here on SB 22 and it gives us information about what's going on with the Senate version. And often one version will be further along, you know, on this little tracker at the top than the other. And you can find out when the committee hearings are going to be for each and all of that. So the committee hearing for this bill in the Senate was for me last week, but the House bill hearing is tomorrow.
Another thing relating to the hearing dates that'll bridge us over into submitting testimony is that testimony is due specifically 3 days before, 2 days, 2 days before the hearing. That's business days as well, so that doesn't count weekends. So if the hearing is on a Tuesday, then it'll be due on Friday. So that's just something to remember as you're submitting testimony. You have a very short window of specific time before the hearing to submit, but that's what we'll show you now, is how to submit testimony.
Yeah, and on that note, also, you can usually only sign up for to testify between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. 2 days before. So if it's 3 or 4 days before and you want to sign up, you can't yet. You have to wait for 2 days before, which is a little frustrating because sometimes, oh yeah, there's a bill being heard, 2 weeks from now. Can I just sign up for that now? No, sorry about that. So, okay, to sign up, you'll click back on Mymga, which once again takes us to this, general bill tracking list. And then over here on the left, you click on the button that says witness sign up. Now, once you get here, you will see a list of all of the bills that are going to be heard in the Senate and then House committees 2 business days from then. So we're making this on January 24th. So it's showing us everything that's going to be seen or heard on January 26th. Now, you can scroll all the way down and find whatever committee you're looking for, but it's a little faster to just click up here. There we go. And then, select judiciary, so if the bill's being heard by the, House judiciary.
Information is also available on that last screen that we showed you as well.
Yeah. Now, interestingly, the judiciary does not have a committee hearing on Wednesday, so I'm just gonna go back and pretend that we're scrolling down and submitting testimony. This is not something we're submitting testimony on, but pretend that we were submitting testimony on Senate Bill 272, Disclosure of Tax Information, Fraud, Identification, Prevention, or Response. I don't actually know what this bill does, and we're not submitting testimony on it. So, it's a great example just to give you just to show you the process. So the first thing you do is you check this little box to show that that's the bill that you want to do something on. Your organization name should automatically fill in from what your Mymga account is. If it's wrong, you can change it here. Or if you're, testifying as an individual, you can delete it or type in individual. So then the next thing you'll do is select what your position on it is. Are you favorable to the bill? Are you unfavorable? Are you favorable, but you think there should be an amendment? Or are you just sort of providing some information about the bill that you think the legislators should know without telling them whether they should take a positive or negative view on it? Generally, your people are going to be favorable or unfavorable, sometimes favorable with amendments. I have never personally used informational only. I think that's used more by some of the government agencies and things. So you'll select your position, we'll say favorable. And then here under testimony, you'll select the type of testimony you're submitting. Is it written testimony? Is it oral testimony that you're going to, speak out to the committee? Is it both? Or is it none? Now, I'm not quite sure why you would select none, other than to just say, we're in favor of this, but we're not telling you why. I have never seen that, but there is an option for it if you want that. So I'm going to say written here. And then once you select written, the little upload files button will appear. It won't appear until you select both your position and the type of testimony. Now you can then click on upload files, and then you can choose the file to attach. I just checked the House and Senate rules, and they don't specify the type of documents that these need to be. We would recommend submitting PDFs because they're a little bit easier for, what the other side is going to see with a PDF. But if you just have a Word document or something like that, that should be fine too. Once you attach it, I'm not going to attach it because I'm not really submitting testimony on this. You'll hit OK, and it will upload the file. Now you might think, oh, I'm done now. Great. You're not quite done, because what you have to do after this is go back up here and click on save. You can then, that will then save all of your changes to, testimony in whatever committees you've selected below. So you can, do these things for multiple bills. And then when you're done, go up and hit save. But if you don't hit save, then they won't submit. You can verify that they've submitted at the end by clicking on your signed up items. Now here you're going to see where I am signed up for 2 hearings tomorrow in the House Judiciary Committee. One is that mitigation and defenses, religious beliefs of disability or homelessness bill that we talked about. And the other is the unnatural or perverted sexual practices repeal bill that we talked about. We are favorable to both, and I am submitting both oral and written testimony, and I've already gone through that process. But by clicking on signed up items, I can verify that I am signed up and that it's all set to happen. So that's how you use the Mymga website. Jamie Grace, have I forgotten anything?
The only thing that I would say is that oral testimony should be limited to 2 minutes. So keep that in mind while you're writing. But even if you're submitting oral testimony and you plan on speaking for 2 minutes, the written testimony that you submit can be longer than that. And often can, just if you have other things that you believe should go on the record, but you won't have time to address while you're speaking, just make sure that you put the most important stuff first, and then hopefully senators will read it in your written testimony.
Yeah, I will also add that the legislators tend to prefer oral testimony that's more extemporaneous and not just reading off of whatever the written statement is. they can read your written statement themselves after the hearing. So they want your oral testimony to be something that adds to it, that you can hit on the same points, but they want it to sort of be in a different format.
But other than that, I think that's it.
Yeah.
You're prepared. You have a Mymga account. You know how to track bills, submit testimony, and you are at our lobby day right now. So we have lots to get back to.
Yeah. And then one final thing, once you are signed up for testimony, prior to the hearing date, you should get an email from someone in the legislature. It will differ depending on what committee it is, that will either provide you with a Zoom link to the event, or to the hearings that you can log in, or will tell you that there isn't enough time for you to testify. Some of the committees have more limited testimony than others. So in the Senate, it's highly limited on the number of people that can testify on any given bill. There's usually more people allowed in the House. So there's the possibility that if you sign up for a Senate bill that you won't be selected, but if you sign up in the House, you probably will be. So I think that's it for everyone. So thank you. We hope this helps. And we hope to see some of you testifying.